James helps lead our sales force here on our team. And he's one of the very few people that I feel inferior to when it comes to football. And when we first met, I could tell right away, because a coach knows a coach, right? And I could tell right away that you were a quintessential coach. And that's really carried over into what you do here on this team and in your professional life.
I want to explain how my strengths complement your weakness and your weaknesses complement my strengths. And my strengths were relationship building. They do, and then they cry about the lack of results. But it all starts, though, with the vision of knowing where you want to go.
Matt Weaver, the #1 mortgage originator in the United States for most loans closed in 2023 and #1 in the state of Florida from 2020 to present, has spent over 27 years mastering the purchase market, earning more than 16 #1 titles across his career. Max Fisch, 2024's #1 originator in the United States under 30 and #2 in the state of Florida, achieved those titles within just 5 years of entering the mortgage industry, compressing decades of growth into a few extraordinary years. Collectively, they've helped more than 40,000 families purchase their first home. Now partners and looking to improve the industry on a national scale, Matt and Max share their winning formula, team structure, and systems with originators who want to scale from elite to extraordinary levels.
James Cannata. We're in for a treat today. As everybody can tell, I have a new partner today sitting at this table with me. So welcome, James.
Thank you.
I'm super excited to have you. And one thing I noticed when we first sat down is that you fill up that chair a little bit more than
I've been trying.
a typical partner on this.
Eat my protein shakes.
So let's get right into it, because I think that we have some really cool things to talk about today. Just for a quick introduction and for everybody listening, James helps lead our sales force here on our team. And he's one of the very few people that I feel inferior to when it comes to football, because James's background is a football coach, very high level football coach too. How many state championships did you win?
8 state, 2 national.
8 state and 2 national.
Yes.
And didn't you get to meet Nick Saban, or you spoke at the same event?
Yeah, in 2013, I was actually received an award for the Nike Coach of the Year.
You can say that loud.
I got to speak at that clinic, and right before Nick Saban goes on, that was my time block. So the room was packed. Not for me. It was for Nick, but they were there to get their seats ahead of time. But no, it was a really
That's so cool. And when we first met, I could tell right away, because a coach knows a coach, right? And I could tell right away that you were a quintessential coach. And that's really carried over into what you do here on this team and in your professional life, which I'm super excited to get into and dive into today. And if you want, can you just tell everybody what you do on the team and kind of what your motivations are, your desires, different things? Just give us a little bit of information about James.
Certainly. Well, James Cannata. I run the Treasure Coast area for the Matt Weaver team over here at CrossCountry Mortgage. 20 years in the mortgage industry last November.
Yeah.
Doing it at a high level. Since 2018, I've been the #1 Treasure Coast based lender, both volume and units. And honestly, a lot of the lessons that I taught and learned from the game of football, I translated into business.
Yeah.
So it was really easy for me. A lot of the fellas who I've probably one of our best rainmakers, I coached. And it's really neat now to see a lot of the guys who I coach living their lives in their careers and still referencing back some of the things we taught them.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just having different conversations with you, it really seems that you understand originators at a deep level, and you understand the positive things that the general industry does as far as originations are concerned, and also the negative things. And you've been able to really help our team continue to grow at a high level and even grow your own personal business. So I'm just interested to see what are some of the things that you think that you've done right or are doing right in your business, and some of the things that originators kind of as a whole seem to be doing wrong.
Yeah, it's really, honestly, it goes back to almost the first conversation Matt Weaver and I ever had.
Sure.
He says to me, I want to explain how my strengths complement your weakness and your weaknesses complement my strengths. And my strengths were relationship building and the ability to know a task and know where I want to go, build a game plan behind it, aka hey, the football coach,
Yeah.
and then execute it without excuse and with relentlessness. My weaknesses were, to be honest, probably most mortgage originators have the same weakness. I was one guy mortgage. Now, one guy mortgage, but I had a team of 9. But I was originating, I was taking loan applications, putting in the system, helping get documents, helping with the processing team, and I was so involved in the process, even though I had staff to go ahead and help. Well, the system we have on our team eliminated all that and allowed me then to just focus on what I do best. And that is to sell, and sell some more.
Yeah. So you would say that one of the things that most originators do wrong in their practice is they do too many things. They're caught in their origination.
And they're not good at
Is that accurate?
Correct. Yeah, they're not good at it. I know we've discussed a lot of times. There's basically 3 main components. You're either a rainmaker, you're selling, you're a what we call an advisor, where you're working with that client, structuring and helping them get the best terms for what their objection, or the processing origination operation side. You can't be all 3. You may be able to do all 3, but you can only perfect one, and if you want to do it and master it at a high level.
1000%. Matt always talks about how it would be like in a pizzeria, the same person that's making the pizzas is also taking the orders, it's also serving the tables, it's also delivering.
And is also paying all the bills. And taking what's left over. Yeah,
exactly. And so it's an interesting industry that a lot of originators, they feel trapped in. And it's cool to see how you've grown in your career and how you've really owned that lane that you love to do on a daily basis, which is rainmake at a high level. And as a team, what we've done is we've constructed, with your help, a schedule that we call the perfect schedule. And it's so interesting because you embody the schedule. So I'm very interested. I want you to speak on this for just a minute or two. How structured, and we talk about discipline on this show all the time. So how structured your days are and how important that is.
It's I don't know how anybody else operates without it. And then they do, and then they cry about the lack of results. But it all starts though with the vision of knowing where you want to go. It irritates me for years of the places I would work with. They would say, okay, tell me about your plan for your next year. And I have to plan out an entire year of production and income. And so people just write down, I want to make $1 million for the year. Okay. Well, and then the traditional way of looking at that, they take that $1 million, they divide it by your basis points, units, your average loan size, and this is how much you have to do. Good luck. Talk to you in a year. Well, if COVID taught us anything, is that your plan, even though it's over a year, needs to be shrunk down quarter over quarter, because what looks great in January comes middle or end of November could all go up in smoke. So what I always start with, and that's what I did with our team, is you need to know exactly where you want to go, what you want to do, what you want to accomplish. And that's including everything, not just how much you want to make. People say, I want to make $1 million. Well, do you need $1 million? You may need 2, or you may need 600,000.
Sure.
So what I do is I have them put out a very broad list of everything they want to do, places they want to go on the vacation with their family, how much money they want to save, little doodads, I call them, that they want to buy, hobbies they want to do, and associate a dollar amount to that.
So you're attaching life goals.
Absolutely. Yes. Because now once you have that dollar amount, then you can look and say, I need $650,000 to achieve all I want to do. Great. Then you go into that exercise. So now you have this number to achieve all the things you want to say you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
How are you going to do it?
Sure.
Because it's one thing to just throw a number on a page. I need to make, $700,000. Great. How?
Sure.
That's where the perfect schedule comes in.
Yeah.
Because now you need to look and say, to do this, I need to have X amount of partners, and they have to be classified.
Yeah.
You know, and I've gone ahead and grouped it. And what I've done on the perfect schedule is we've classified them not by their production numbers, not by how much the realtor makes or how much the realtor gives you in volume, but how many times that you've received a referral, not a closing, a referral from that agent, how many times they've gone to an event that you've put on or they've met with you. And that's how I classify them out. And then each day, it's literally a block of, you have 1,000 variables that you have to factor into a day, but your day doesn't end until the main component of that day is completed. Like, for example, January 2nd. Now, I work January 1st, okay? I finished off my planning. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm ready to go.
Yep.
January 2nd this year was a Friday. So it was a little off because a Friday is technically like the first day of the year, January 2nd. But now here I am. I'm like, so I go into the office. I have 1,000 things I need to in my head to get going and do. I swear I sat there and did this for the first 20 minutes of the day. I should do this. Oh, wait, for a bit. I stopped and I created this sheet. I call it the rule of 3. And it's just a simple Excel spreadsheet that I created. And I start from the top. Okay, do 10 minutes of reading. Go. Read for 10 minutes. And 10 minutes about craft. I'm not reading Stephen King.
No, of course.
Yeah. Yeah. Next is 10 minutes of planning and marketing. Did 10 minutes. After that, 10 minutes of operations. Operational stuff is you clean up your emails, set your day, whatever it is. Then I get into the meat and potatoes. Status updates to buyers, status updates to realtor partners. If I have to get involved in working to a file, that gets in there. And I put a little tally next to each one. And I go down the entire list. Now, whatever day that focus is, say it's the day where it's the realtor partners who give us referrals and go to our events. They have to get called 20 in that one day. I missed 1,000 on the variables I have to do.
Sure.
I do not go home until all my tasks for that day are done. And
It's so structured.
it has to be.
And it comes down to really choosing winning over comfort, because I'm sure sometimes it's uncomfortable to be so structured.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I look at the book here, Winning, and Michael Jordan, he's the GOAT. I'm not getting into debates of LeBron. Mike's the GOAT.
Yeah.
However, the one that I always relate to the most is Kobe.
Hmm.
Kobe didn't have as many rings. Kobe didn't have as many scoring titles. But if you ever watch The Redeem Team, that's a Netflix show, and they tell the story where the whole team was just kind of going through the motions, and then the next thing you know, here comes Kobe. And he took that work ethic and put it to here. And it was infectious to everybody else. His mentality was, I'm going to go here and win. And to go here and win, I have to do the basics of A, B, and C to go there. And it blows my mind how many originators are out there wanting to do all this. Let's do AI. Great. To do what? Make stupid little Facebook videos you're putting out there? No.
Sure.
You need to use AI to help you get to where you want to go. But the basics win the championships. And that's why I relate to Kobe on it. So
Sure. It's interesting because I wonder if people listening to you right now can feel like the passion, because I want to like get up out of this channel, run through a wall.
There's some things I pride myself when I pull up to our office. And we work in a 3-story office building.
Uh-huh.
And there's not a car in the parking lot yet. And then at night, and mind you, I eat lunch and dinner with my wife every single day unless I have something pre-planned. My wife will be waiting at 8:15 at night. I'm getting my work done. She's like, I'm hungry. Come home. And I'll go out into the park and I'll look back at the building. All the lights and all the other offices are dark. There's not another car out there. And it's my car. And you know what I say? Great. This is why I make more money than every person in this building combined.
It's great. It's great. And you know what's also great, after getting to know you and talking with you just in various meetings and as friends and partners too, it's been really cool to get to know you on the level of your mindset in your professional life and how serious you take it. And when we talk about mindset, scale is a big part of your mindset. And that's important because I remember you telling me that you almost get rid of everything in your life that doesn't scale, and intentionally.
And it wasn't always that way, because it got to a point where I had a system that I created, that I lived by, and it took my business and my income to a certain point. And then we had what's called self-cap. I couldn't go any further. So then I look and think, well, how, if I'm going to keep wanting to expand the things I want to do for financially, for my family, for my take care of my mother and whatnot, I need to go ahead and expand my business. So I need to scale. So I had to basically, we were talked about this once before. It was like driving a race car in a small local area and being the champ. Now all of a sudden, I want to go and I want to take it to a world level.
Yeah.
But I got to go to Monaco and I need to drive in a totally different racetrack. Oh, and the steering wheel's on the other side of the car too. So you got to learn a new track,
Sure.
a new way to drive a car. And the hardest part, still stay competitive.
Sure.
So it takes a lot of work and dedication. And the first thing that I had to go is that mentality of scaling. And I said, look, if it doesn't scale, I need to get rid of it. And the it could be a mentality. It could be the way I interact with my friends on Facebook. It could be a partner. You know, it could be a great partner in your friends, but if they're dragging you down from scaling your business or building your business to where you want it to go, you need to first explain to them, look, this can help you in your business too if you take the mindset how I'm doing this. Otherwise, don't say it, but they got to go, because they're just going to hold you back. And it's just if it doesn't scale, it's got to go.
And you know what's great? You putting all of this into action, being a part of this team, correct me if I'm wrong, but that resulted, I mean, you've been in the industry for 20 years. That resulted in your best month ever.
In 2 months that I was here. Yeah.
It's incredible.
We would have what we thought were great months, and the wheels to the entire machine was just falling apart.
Yeah.
Oh, we closed all this volume.
Yeah.
Then I came here, and in an environment where it's highly competitive, South Florida,
Yeah.
and interest rates, high 6s, low 7s, and I did the most volume in August, 2 months into being on our team, and I worked hard, but it was smooth.
But you loved what you were doing.
Yes, it was so different, and it allowed me, because at the end of the day, I'm a competitor and I'm going to sell. I feel when I walk into the room, I am the best salesperson in there. Love you. You dwarf me in your production, but if you and I walk in the same room with one realtor and one buyer, I'm walking out of it.
No, listen, I feel that way sitting with you at this table.
And now that may not be the case, but that's the mentality.
Sure, no, it's
That's the mentality of that's what we're going to do. So now take that mentality. That's the sales mentality. That's I'm going to take down that big game hunter. Okay.
So to summarize it, it's been a pretty good experience being a part of our team for you and for the team as a whole. I mean, you are doing some extraordinary things with the people that are in that lane, in that upfront sales lane.
I'm hard on
our team. Yeah.
and they need to be hard on it, because at the end of the day, if it were easy, everybody would do it.
1,000%.
Yeah.
And so I think the biggest takeaway for originators is, again, we preach it all the time. You want to stay in your lane. You want to have that singleness of purpose, but you also really need to be disciplined in your schedule.
Yes.
And I think if there's one takeaway that originators can take from listening to you, in addition to your passion, right, for what you do, it's that you need to be disciplined in the schedule. You need to be good at staying consistent.
Yes.
Okay. Which is a lost art amongst a lot of originators. I think that's very, very important to know.
I'll leave you with this. I had he's one of our rainmakers, very good producer, young. He's going to be a top shelf guy the next 36 months. He would always leave a little early, stay a little late. I literally told him one day when he was leaving, and granted, I'm there to 7:30, 8 o'clock at night. Okay, but that's built into my schedule. I'm not asking you to do it, but then don't cry to me when you're not getting the income and the results that you want.
Sure.
He's leaving, and I said, I want you to do something. You put your son to bed tonight? Yeah. I go, good. I want you to look at him. And this is after he had like one of these up and down months. And tell him Daddy failed you. He was like, wait, what? I'm like, right. Because you didn't give everything you had to make sure that your son and your family would be taken care of for the rest of their lives, that they rely on you. To have that mentality, to take it different from yourself, make it personalized, make it personal to, I have people who are relying on me. Why am I going home? Because I'm tired. Because what are you going to do at home? And I'm not telling you to have, to be a workaholic. Work-life balance, I don't believe in it, okay? You do what you need to do in that window of time, and then you move on to it, to the next thing. And the next thing might be, I'm coaching my the kids' football game. My daughter will say it best. You work so hard, more than any of my other friends' parents do, yet you never missed a vacation. You never missed a Sunday dinner. You never missed dinner at night. We always coached football. You know how much time, dedication that is while working? Because everything was compartmentalized. And when it was that time to do that, that's what I focused.
Just about being structured.
And being disciplined to follow the structure set in place.
1,000%. James, thank you so much for this. I mean, like I said, I feel like running through a wall. So I really appreciate you being here and sharing all that with us. And I just, I'm excited to continue winning with you.
Line it up, baby. It's good.
Thank you.
All right.